Y'all probably was wondering, why did she have to trick the narcissist to break up with her? It was all the information I collected on him. He was a red flag of epic proportions. Let me tell you some stuff he told me he did. One, he said he pew-pewed at his baby mama. He laughed at someone he used to date being smex trafficked. He was tickled by the girl whose spicy photos was released to the public. Then he admitted, then he looked at me and said, it was me. Then, now when I first met this man, I told him, if I get ever a chance to speak to one of your exes, I probably will. And I did. I was on the phone with his ex-fiance for about 8 hours on one day. Not just to believe everything she said, but to confirm some of the information he gave me to see how much of a danger he was. She confirmed the pew-pew incident with the baby mama and that he had a baby on her. She admitted to getting him a car and he played her with another girl. And so many other things. She tried to break up with him and she told me he tried to body slam her on his porch. So I was like, okay, so he's violent in certain ways. He just haven't shown me that yet. Funny part is, he was in jail for about 6 months, and I was putting money on his books and everything. And he was like, I'm going to give you the money back. I'm going to give you money back. I was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because this was entertainment, bitch. It's pure fucking entertainment. Watching all these bitches go haywire and shit. And not only that, the person that he left me for, right? The one that was his so-called woman was the reason why he was in jail. By the time I was done, everybody in his family and all the other women thought that she set him up. And I didn't tell him about the 8-hour conversation because I knew the fiance would do her due diligence and tell him about that call. I knew. I just knew. I was like, they worked perfectly in my plans. All of the people in the fucking group worked perfectly in my plans. From the boo-boo the fool that got him locked up to the fiance that told him the information that I wanted her to tell him without her knowing I wanted him to tell him. And then when he spazzed out when he got out of jail, it made it easier for me to pull the fuck away. And he asked me for my help and he was trying to get me to get him a car. And I'm looking at him like, oh, sure, I'll help you. But you got to help yourself too. I wasn't paying for the car. I wasn't buying the car. I told him, yeah, we can still help. So he's just trying to play in everybody's face. And he tried to attempt me to get him a car after he got out of jail. Now, granted, when he got locked up, the pew-pew was confiscated. That was my biggest thing going red flag for him. I was like, I can't just leave him. He might come out and try to pew-pew my ass. He tried it on his baby mama. He probably attempted it on the other females too. And I also looked at his record. It did show that there was an incident with the baby mom. So I had to be very tactical, right? So I got the information from her. He's trying to get me to get this car and everything. And I'm looking at him like, you're going to have to pay the down payment and all of that stuff. I'm not helping with that. And you're also going to have to pay the payments. I'm not doing any of that. He's like, okay, I will. But they might not put it on my credit because my credit's bad. I'm like, we'll go and find out. So I let the man at the dealership check his credit and everything. Guess what? He has a thin file, meaning he ain't never used his credit in the 47 years of his life. That's a shame, sir. I just kind of looked at him when the guy came in here in the room being like, yeah, you have a thin file. He just looked at me with this sheepish look. I didn't know. Like, yeah, you did know. You never use your credit, stupid. So after he got the car, that's when he really switched up, right? That's when he really switched up, talking all kind of crazy to me and everything. I'm like, all right, bitch, I'm walking karma. I ain't got no worried about this. So I waited for the first moment that he yelled at me in the car and telling me we could take the car back. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll take the car back. I even made an event to make him be like, yeah, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to tear that whole shit up, only to show up and do nothing. I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck that place up, and then do nothing. I was like the frog, the frog from the Acme thing, and then they'd be like, everybody come look. I'd be like, ribbit, Ribbit. I made him think that I was going crazy and mentally insane, but then I would be like, do nothing. Do absolutely nothing. Just so he could stay the fuck away and leave me alone. I wanted him to think he had me wrapped up in little fucking hands and shit. So when he finally thought he got me, when he finally thought he trapped me up, and he was like, yeah, well, we could take this car back. I was like, no, we don't even have to do that. I can do a bankruptcy, and I can get the car taken out of my name due to the bankruptcy, and you could be left with a 2-ton paperweight. How about that, babe? How about that? He just looked at me. I was like, yeah, you just realized you got fucked. You realized your trap was really your trap, set for you. Now, after I gave him that warning, he didn't bother me. He didn't threaten me about the car. He didn't do nothing. And then, he ventured out. He went and said, the woman, I ain't really even care. We barely seen each other at this point. I'm like, yes, distancing, working well. And then finally I prayed to the Lord to take that man out of my life, and the Lord sent him a car accident and totaled his car. This fool literally looked at me after all the drama and bullshit he put me through and be like, am I out on favors? I'm like, bitch, I still got some of your voicemails saved. Just remind me of bitch ass never to be stupid again. And then from there, I broke away. Probably easier than any other bitch broke away from him, but you know what? You bitches stuck there. I can't help you. Y'all delusional. What the fuck y'all expect me to do? Y'all dickmatized. What? All kinds of shit. Not me, baby. I got away. So yeah, that's why I did a whole plan, because I've seen that he was violent. I've seen that he's pew-pewed at other women. I've seen that he's been violent. So I've seen that I needed to handle him a little bit more carefully than I did any other man, because I'm not going to heaven yet. And then when I finally broke up with him, I did the thing that he was most afraid of. I exposed him. He left me a voicemail, a very ignorant voicemail. And so I grabbed a microphone and I got in my car and I played that shit on blast and I drove around his block and I had conversations with his neighbors and we was talking about the voicemail, and I was like, how could he talk to me this way when I just helped him get a car? I don't understand this. And then he broke up with me. And then I was like, okay, thank you. And I think after a while, he realized it was a trick. And so he tried to get back with me. And I was like, no, baby, don't worry about it. What I did to you was so bad, so awful, so audacious. I should never be allowed to get back with you, baby. I was just so horrible. You so right. I need time to learn my lesson for what I did. Boy, bye. Get the fuck out of my face. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you get rid of someone very crazy. You give them the delusion that they're winning. And just when they think that they're winning, you fucking pull that rug from under them and make them see that, oh, we playing on 2 different manipulation games, baby. Remember, God loves you and I love you too, but not in a weird way.